It's election season, and chances are, if you're like me, you find the Electoral College a tad confusing. Luckily, Rich Zeoli from 1280 WPHT broke it down for us.
Each state gets a certain number of electors. And that depends on the size of the state. It depends on the population of the state. So based on your population is how many electors you get, how many votes you get. They're the people we vote for when we vote for president. We don't actually vote for the candidates. They're voting for their electors. And then they'll meet in the state capital of their state in December, and then they'll vote for the president. You got to get 270 points. So if you get 270 points, you're president of the United States. Then what would happen is it would go to the House of Representatives. Now, every state would get one vote. So you could also theoretically have another tie there. It could be 25-25. But the state congressional delegation will meet and decide how their state is going to vote. And then that's how you would choose the president of the United States if, in fact, nobody hit that magic number of 270. The Constitution says they have to pick from the top 3 vote getters. So theoretically, if there is a third-party candidate running, they could choose that person. Ultimately, as Alexander Hamilton wrote in the Federalist Papers, it was designed to stop a demagogue who could whirl the people's passions in their frenzy, but was just unfit for the job. Hamilton thought if we had a group of people who could be sober-minded about it, they could be the final check to make sure that America was not handed over to the reins of somebody who was just a complete and utter demagogue. If it was just about the popular vote, candidates would only spend time in major cities and only spend time in major states. And so a lot of America would be completely ignored. Their votes wouldn't matter, and their priorities wouldn't matter either, right? It forces candidates to go to those rural areas. It forces them to go to Iowa, for example, and New Hampshire and campaign in these places because they want to get those points on the board. So one of the biggest downsides to Electoral College is that, if you're a Republican in California or New York or a Democrat in Texas, your vote may not really count, right? Because your state is most likely going to go in that direction, opposite of yours. You may feel a certain way, but the majority in your state feels that way. So all the electoral votes are going to go to that president, that candidate. Some states do it by proportion. So you could still be in a blue or red state, but if your county goes the other direction, then a portion of those electoral votes will still go to that candidate. Some states do it that way to make sure that everybody has their voice heard in the process. You would need a constitutional amendment to get rid of the constitutional amendment that has the Electoral College in it. That would require a supermajority of both houses of Congress and a supermajority of the states. Now, good luck getting that to happen because, again, if you get rid of the Electoral College, smaller states that don't have big populations, would have no say in the process. So there's no chance they're going to go along with ratifying the Constitution to get rid of the Electoral College. It's really easy to do. You just have to get a petition and run for office. You run for office as an elector, and you get elected in the party's primary, and then you're on the ballot for President of the United States of America. You could really vote for yourself then for president if you wanted to, just for fun, although some states require that you actually do have to vote for whoever won the popular vote in your state. You're bound as an elector. It's called being a faithful or faithless elector, but it's a lot of fun. You should try it sometime.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications from radio.com. While you're at it, why don't you check out some of our other great videos.